We are going live right now on our Huga Beauty, not Huga Beauty, I'm sorry, the Scottsdale Lash and Brow Conference Facebook group, as well as our Scottsdale Lash Brow Conference Instagram. And joining me
Got
today,
both going.
yes, you guys, I'm so excited for this interview. We have Nikki here from Lash Platform. She is one of our sponsors here for the Scottsdale Lash and Brow Conference coming up this. We're crossing fingers that nothing happens. May 2021, right?
Yes.
So we're really, really excited to have her on. We're going to be talking about quite a few relatable things here in regards to, COVID, getting to know her, her business, her brand, what she's been through, and very relatable to what's been happening to a lot of people out there. So thank you for joining me, babe.
Yes, no problem. I'm so happy to be here. It's so nice to just talk and, keep the lash world going, especially like you said right now through this crazy. I honestly never thought this would happen. Like in April, I was still like booking out group courses for June, July, because I was like, oh, we'll be good. Couple months. Yeah, we'll be fine. And here we are in almost September now. And
I
things
know.
are so kind of crazy.
It has been kind of crazy. Super, super. Well, I'm so grateful that you're working from home. Mainly?
I am.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So tell us a little bit more about you.
When I do trainings, I'll rent out certain places and things like that. But yes, lashing is done from my home studio.
Okay, cool. And you are in Utah. You said you were in Cedar Grove.
Cedar Hills.
Cedar Hills. Okay, which is close to Pleasant Grove, if everyone knows that. Okay, if you're from Utah.
Yes, Pleasant Grove, Highland, that kind of area. Yes, I live right up in there.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So I know I've never heard of Cedar Hills because I don't know why. Is it a new kind of suburb?
It's
newer-ish?
Yes, it is. It's kind of like a new little, they just kind of plopped us right in here.
Right in there.
Called it Cedar Hills. So there's a Cedar Hills golf course. So my guess is that's why we're Cedar Hills.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Okay, cool. Well, I am so excited to get to know you a little bit more. So let's introduce ourselves. Everyone already knows me. Who cares about me? You're the main point. Tell us a little bit more about you. Tell us about your life, who you are, what got you into lashing.
Okay. So, first off, I'm a mom. I have 2 little kids. I tell myself I'm in the hard stage because I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. So most of the time I'm honestly a mom. I have been married to my husband for, oh my gosh, I'm so bad. 14, I think. 14 years now. Yes. And we again live in Utah. I first started in the beauty industry in 2006. So I graduated high school early when I was 17. And my plan was to actually go into the fashion design world. And I got into an art design college in California. So I graduated early. I went to esthetician school and I told myself, oh, I'll work in a salon while I'm in school and I'll be able to live. I'll be able to provide for myself. So I graduated from aesthetic school in 2006. During that time, I met my now husband, and let's just say things didn't work out according to plan. I did not go to California. I stayed in Utah. We got married. We started our family. So in 2008, I went back to cosmetology school because if you guys have been in the industry back then, you know that 2006, 2007, everything just crashed. No one was really paying for facials. No one was really coming in to get treatments done. And back then there wasn't as many amazing techniques as there is now. Like there was no, vampire facial. There was no micro needling. None of that stuff was around back then. So it was very basic facials, some pedicures, and that was kind of it. So I wanted to keep going and I wanted to keep building myself. I learned very fast that I just love learning new things and constantly moving forward and growing. I can't be stagnant or else I go a little crazy. So I went back to cosmetology school and I graduated in 2009. And that's when I first learned lashes. A lady kind of came in and she popped up a table and was like, this is what you do. And I remember she had these really long fingernails and she like isolated with their nails and just kind of stuck the lashes on there. And that's when, so bad. And that's when they would dip the whole extension and then like swipe it 10 times and then stick it on there. And I remember the model sat up and looked at me and I remember thinking in my mind, I will never do that. Like Never, ever in my life will I ever do that. And so I graduated and I kind of went into hair and stuff. And it was always in the back of my mind, it has to be better than that. There's no way that that's normal, you know? So I kind of started researching on my own, found other companies who are a lot better than that, let me just say. And that's kind of when I broke into lashing. It was a lot of hair on the side for my main, clientele. And then lashing was kind of like, I fit someone in every now and then. And then my love for it just kind of grew. And I kind of in the back of my mind knew we could do better. This can be better. We can somehow do better, you know? And then volume started coming out, and then it kind of just kept going and going. And I just kind of kept going with the flow. I kind of always say, you know, students now are so lucky that they can go and sit in a class and learn how to do everything like perfectly. You know,
Yes.
we know how to use glue now. We know how it works. Like, I always look at them, I'm like, you're so lucky that you didn't have to learn the way I learned. But at the same time, I'm thankful that I went through each part of the lash industry and really learned, you know, what not to do and how far we've come and just kind of grown along with it. So I love lashes. I've been doing it full time now for about 6 years. And this is kind of where I'm at. I have my own business. So most of my business is education. That's kind of what I do. I travel around the world. I educate, I speak at conferences, you know, things like that. I do a ton of one-on-one trainings. That's kind of my jam. I love just being one-on-one with that student and really getting to know them and really focusing on how to make them the best lash artist as possible. So that's what I do a lot of.
Really help. I totally agree. Hey, babe, you looks like we lost you. Sorry, guys. We lost you on Instagram. And then, so she's going to get back on right now, guys. Hi, Lindy, ABL. Hi, babe. Hi, Nancy.
Lindy, hello. Yeah, I was just messaging you this morning.
Awesome. She's so sweet.
Okay.
So yeah, let's get back on here for Instagram. Right now we are live on our, what do you call this? Our Facebook group on Scottsdale page, as well as our Scottsdale page on Instagram. So if you're just joining us right now, I am connecting and interviewing. There she is. Nikki. Nikki from Lash Platform. She was just telling us a little bit about herself, you know, being a mom and how she started and what she came along, and how she got into lashing, which is really cool. I totally feel you on how what you had done. That's amazing. And you don't regret your decision.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, yeah. I just spoke to a hair school, and a lot of the time they always are like, well, why did you just go into lashing? And it's hard to explain. It's hard to, I just honestly, sometimes I want to be like, I got sick of standing for 12 hours a day. Like, I can sit and chill and I can lash in an environment that I create that I love, and it's so relaxing, and it's so fun, and it's so, you know, and you can't explain that to someone that has never experienced it, you know?
No, and it's your own, right? Like there's a difference when it's your own baby, it's your own work. Like, you're passionate about it. You enjoy doing it. You don't have to wake up in the morning and say, oh gosh, I have to go meet these people every day. Right?
100%.
So that's awesome. I'm so happy for you and all you've achieved right now.
Thank you.
No problem. So I wanted to go down and ask you quite a few different questions. We're going to talk, again, if you're just joining us, we're going to be talking about a few different topics, relevant topics of what's going on right now. I wanted to see, how has COVID impacted your company and personally? Because you had mentioned that you were about to open a storefront, right when COVID hit. So tell us more about that.
So probably this, I've been looking into opening my own space, for about a year and a half now. I was really picky about location, of course, very picky with how I wanted it done. And I was very specific in my hunt, my husband calls it. He was like, you were on the prowl for the perfect building, because of course, my building was going to have a very large training center. And so I finally found a building, and negotiations were put into play in January. It was just a building right down here in Highland, Utah. And we were just, of course, in that back and forth. And there was a build out that needed to be done and things like that. And we got very, very close to signing, and COVID hit. And I still was very pushing forward, let's do this. I'm ready. I have this. I have everything in play, you know. And the owner of the actual building just ghosted me honestly. It was really hard and really frustrating because my only contact was my realtor. And so I was bugging him. He probably, poor man, he's so sweet and he's so awesome. But like, I was that client that was like, shut up and leave me alone. But I just was like, why can't we move forward? Like, why wouldn't the owner want to? I'm ready. I want to do this, you know,
Right.
but he just cold turkey. And it's the building that I was going for was under new ownership. So he was a brand new owner of this building. And so it kind of just stopped. And
Wow.
you know, my husband's really good. I'm very like, no, I want this. This is how it's going to be. Like, you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the things I want. And he's very like, it's all meant to be. Everything will work out, you know? And he says it and I'm like,
I love that.
but at the same time, like it finally hit me and I was like, it's so true. Now that I'm almost at the end of the year and I see that, like everything that's happened, and like I said, I never knew it would last this long. I never thought in my mind that COVID would, almost a year now of just craziness. And so I am thankful in a way that it didn't go through and didn't happen, because I probably wouldn't have made it. But that got put on hold and kind of stopped. My group trainings, I had to reschedule 4 group trainings throughout this past couple months, which, you know, that's my income, that's my living. So it has definitely been a hiccup. But one thing I can say is I'm very thankful my husband he's a UPS driver. Your husband's a UPS driver, right? No. Why did I think your husband's a UPS driver? Okay, yeah. So my husband's a UPS driver, and he's been crazy like it's Christmas since COVID, because everybody orders online, right? So it's been super crazy, but it's been really nice to have that. And I've just really the last couple months concentrated on my future as the Lash Platform and what I really want to do. So in the past, I have partnerships with other companies. And for a long time, I've helped other companies build their brand. I've helped them create products. And I love it. Like, it's a passion. I absolutely love it. But it got to the point where I kind of took a step back and thought, I'm doing all this work for all these other companies, which I have no regret about any of it. I love the friendships I've made and the partnerships I've made. But at the same time, if I took a lot of that energy and put it back into myself and back into my own business, I think it could grow so much more than what I am. Because again, I was kind of stagnant and I was comfortable with just educating. I was great with, I still do, and I love teaching. That's my passion. Number one is educating and helping people learn and grow. But I can admit that I was very stagnant in that, oh, this is it. This is kind of, I'm fine with this. And since COVID hit, it really has put into my mind, you know, what does the future hold? What do you want to do? You know, your kids are going to be growing up. What's something that you can do to work around your family schedule and things like that? So it kind of put a stop to the salon, but it also put like a fire behind me when it comes to what my brand, what I want my brand to be, and the future of my brand. So it's kind of been crazy, but it's been good at the same time, you know?
Yes, there's always those silver linings, and we don't really realize them, right? Until like time has finally passed.
Yes.
And what's crazy is I love that you mentioned, like, that's what your husband was saying, you know, there's a reason for everything. Maybe this was meant to be, you know, sometimes we have to step back and sit there. And have you ever done one of those, what are they called? Wish boards?
Yes, like a vision board.
Vision board. That's what it is, right? So you do a circle, and then you have lines sticking out of your circle on all the things that you want. And then you have to really pinpoint what direction is really calling to you and then go in that direction, right?
Yes.
So definitely, if you haven't done that for yourself on a personal level, on your personal goals, and if you haven't done that on a business level, then believe me, like, you need to. Like, everybody does. Everyone who's listening, guys. Yeah.
You do. You really do. And you have to update it too, because I feel like sometimes you don't realize all the little goals that you're hitting. You know, you have this dream and I see it all the time. Like, I'll train students and I'm like, what are your goals? You know, and it's a lot of times it's not really like, I just want to have a good clientele and provide for my family. It's, oh, I want to do this and I want to start my own lash line and I want to do this. And I'm like, you're missing 100 baby steps in between. Like,
Yep.
whoa.
Yep.
Slow down. But you really do like have to reevaluate it, because a lot of times when you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, I hit that goal. I hit that one. I got that one. And it's like constantly moving forward and constantly, you know, growing is what really helps this industry to, you know, be where it's at today. And hi everyone, this is so
I know
fun.
this is fun. People have been joining in and out. So hi guys, thank you for joining. If you're here, give us some hearts right here on Instagram. If you're here on Facebook and you're listening on Facebook and watching us, you can definitely interact with us and ask questions, ask comments. Guys, we're here to chat with you and let you know, not only just to get to know Nikki here and, you know, talk about what's going on, you know, with her and her company and the business. We really want to answer some of your questions, or even just address your comments if you have them. So definitely interact with us. We love it. Oh, Facebook people are saying hi. Sorry, you can't see it on your end, but there's. And so I wanted to ask you, so with that, it's kind of like segues into my next question for you. What are some of the struggles that you have gone through? And like we were talking about, what are some of the silver linings that have come up throughout since you've started? So like, let's say we're talking to someone who wants to, like you said, students who want to start their business or even grow and they don't know what they're doing. What are some of your struggles that you've experienced and how did you overcome that?
I feel the number one struggle when I was new and really decided, okay, I don't want to do hair anymore. I want to just lash. I thought people would just come to me, you know, and I think a lot of people just think, oh, I'm going to do lashes. I'm going to do a set and I'm going to post about it. And all these people are going to come running to me. Right. One thing I found and one thing I learned is marketing and social media and things like that are important, whether you love them or not. For one, my passion is not in social media and things like that. So it's very hard for me in general to sit down and kind of focus in and say, okay, let's maybe create some things to advertise or, you know, whatever. But as a new lash artist, I think the hardest thing is staying confident in yourself and to know that bad things will happen. And I'm not saying you're going to poke someone in the face. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you're sometimes going to have things in your mind that you think are going to turn out a certain way and it doesn't. And when those things happen, instead of saying, oh, I suck, this is the worst, I don't want to do this, why am I doing this? Instead, to learn from it and turn it into a positive and tell yourself, you know, okay, why did this happen? How can I fix it? And how can I be better the next time? The best way to become a better lash artist is to live and learn through your own mistakes. And
Totally agree.
It's you know, you kind of baptism by fire, they say, but it's so true. Like you learn so much faster when you actually do it. You see what you did. And then at the end, you're like, oh, I should have done this here or placed this shape different. Or, you know, it's those little things that happen to you every day that you want to actually be thankful for because they're going to make you a better lash artist. You know what I mean? In the end.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Being better. I still have days where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this lash map and it's going to be perfect and it's going to be great. And then I do it and they open their eyes and I'm like, oh, it's not exactly how I wanted it to turn out, but it's fine. Like now I know for next time how to make it better.
Exactly. And Lindy right here is like, you know, she adds on here, she said, and keep going, you know,
and keep going.
She is
and one example of never giving up. Let's just be honest. If you guys don't know her story, like she's amazing. Like,
you know what, I'm going to have her, Lindy, if you're, I know you're probably watching, I'm going to have you on a podcast here coming
amazing.
up. I'm going to contact you. We're going to do this because I want to hear your story because I don't think I've heard it yet.
Oh,
so.
she's awesome. Yeah. Just how she started in general.
I love the brand.
It's like a Cinderella story for sure. Just kind of, it's great. She's awesome.
That's so cool. Okay. And it's really cool. And you know what you said about lashing and like, you know, while you're actually lashing, like kind of like a baptism by fire, that also, I think what has to do with the business aspect of your company itself as well. Some people don't know how to start a business. They don't know how to open up an LLC. They don't know maybe what they need with accounting or taxes or, you know, things like that. So you really have to set some time out and delegate that and really learn, whether it is you do it yourself or whether it is you find help.
Yes.
right?
And one thing I learned from a great friend of mine, her name is Katie Gross. She's the founder of Lash Artist Box. She creates
Yep.
the,
Yeah,
subscription
the
box.
box.
So
Yeah.
she has a business degree. And she told me this, and which I honestly didn't know. But your local government buildings have free business classes for you to take.
Oh,
They
nice.
have like a free SBA classes, so small business stuff
Yeah.
that you can take. You just have to look it up, and they offer it, and you can go in and actually sit in a class, and they will give you basics of
No
how to start a
way.
business. Yes,
That is so,
tax dollars pay for it. And so
wow.
they have them for free. So it's just looking up your local, small business information, and they're there to help you. Again, we pay for it with our tax dollars, so you
Right?
might as
That's
well use it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So repeat, where can they find that again?
Usually it's just through like your government website. You can get
Okay.
on and search. Like I can get on like Utah County
Hmm.
business and look up where it's usually at, like business centers that
Business centers.
they
Okay.
offer
And
that.
if you
Yeah,
don't know, just guys, if you need to find this, like, don't just search
Google it.
online, just Google it or find a number and just
Yes.
call them and ask. And then they'll be,
Yes.
even if you have to do like a telephone, like, okay, no, you need to call this person. Oh no, you need to call this person. Keep calling the next person so you can find your information. I think we have a
Yeah.
question here. Let's see. She's Axel Lashes. She says, "Hey ladies, I got a good clientele where I'm struggling to find time for my own self. Would you guys consider opening a lash studio with 1 year considering COVID-19? Within 1 year? What do you mean? Like within this year? I'm assuming she's talking about. So would we
Is she
consider
saying
opening
one
up a
year
lash
as a
studio?
lash artist or 1 year within COVID?
Yeah, I'm not sure what she means by then. Let's see. Let's answer both questions, right?
Yeah.
Let's
So
go with
time for yourself.
yeah.
I am when it comes to my family, my kids, I'm a very selfless person. Like I will do whatever it takes to get them happy, and as a mom, I think we do that. That's why we're
Sure.
mothers. We're very selfless. But I have found, especially even the past couple years, that it is so important to find time for yourself. Just because if you're not happy, it's gonna push onto your clients, your family, everybody else. I always just recommend, a little bit of time. For me personally, I wake up early and I go work out. Like that's my time. I don't have to worry about my kids. My husband's home. Like I can just go and do what I want to do and do what I need to do, and then get home and then start my normal life, and
Right.
I have to get up early, which half the time I complain when I go to sleep because my husband has to leave the house at 7:15. So I have to be gone and back, before 7. So it's like,
Yeah.
ugh, like I wish
It's
I could
hard.
sleep in, but at the same time, I feel so much better every day when I get up and just take that 30 minutes, 45 minutes to just work out, breathe. I've actually started meditating at night. Now, I am not like a professional meditator. I don't even know how to really meditate. My
That's okay.
my version of meditation is once my kids are in bed, right before I lay down, because as business owners and as lash artists, our brains are always going. We're always thinking. We're always, what's tomorrow? What do I have? Like things like that. And it's really hard sometimes for us to get a good night's sleep because our brains are so active. So
Yes.
I put on music, and it's just like a deep meditation music off of Spotify. And I sit
Right.
down on my floor and I lean up against my wall and I just breathe for 5 or 10 minutes, and I just relax my body and just,
Yes.
kind of push the worry out. And I sleep better. I can actually lay in bed and close my eyes without thinking a million things at once.
Right, for sure. My husband does that with our daughters once in a while. He has an app, a meditation app.
Oh yeah.
Where, there's tons of those, there's apps for everything, right?
Yes.
So he has a meditation app, and he like when it's bedtime, like when it's 8 o'clock, we're like, okay, let's sit down in the living room. We all sit down, we put on this audio and we listen to it. And it really takes only like 15 minutes of meditation, and we just kind of calm ourselves. And then we're like, all right, let's get to bed.
Yep.
Right. And it really does help the girls. It helps me. Yeah.
Yes.
And, like what you were saying, that we think about so many things all the time. It's always going through our heads. Like, we need to do this. We need to do that. Okay. The kids here. Oh, the business here. Like, it's always running through our heads. And, I tell my mom this all the time. She's actually joining us right now on Instagram, Lashes del Sol. I know. Hi, mama. I always tell her, like, Mom, write me a list. My mom is always like the person who, when she's lashing, that's when she's calm, she's in the zone. And so then she thinks about like all the stuff she needs to get done.
Yes.
And since I'm usually, well, we're not in the same studio anymore, but when I was there with her, she would like look at me and she'd be like, oh, Lulu, we need to do this. And then she'd go back to lashing. Oh, Lulu, we need to do that. And I'm like, Mom, write me a list. Stop, write me a list. So guys, highly recommend. It will make your life like 90% better. Freaking write the list. Even if it's on a sticky note, if it's on your phone, if it's on a whiteboard, because it will make your life a lot easier. And you'll realize, you look at the list and you're like, oh, that's not that too much to do. No. Why was I stressing out about it? It's because you're stressing out because you didn't have it organized. Yeah. That's the main thing. You didn't have it organized. And so you really need to write it down. But anyway,
being organized. So so lashes, she said next year. So opening a salon next year, even with COVID and everything happening. So when it comes to opening a salon, I don't like to tell people to never do something. But a lot more goes into it than what people think. It's all the little things that you don't think about. Opening a salon, I mean, isn't, I'm going to open this salon and I'm going to stock it with all the stuff I need and we're going to open, it's going to be great. There are so many licenses and, codes and things that you have to really, really consider. I think when you really are taking that step to opening a salon, there's a few things that you need to think about. The first is experience. The more experience you have, the better you're going to be as a business owner helping other people. If you, learn lashes, open a salon within 6 months, like it's going to be hard for you to answer your lash stylist questions when you haven't even experienced those things yourself. It's going to be hard for you to deal with those clients that are unhappy because you haven't really dealt with clients that are unhappy. So as long as you're experienced and you have, proper training and you really are so passionate about it, absolutely. There's always going to be things, though, that are going to pop up that you didn't realize. And so just mentally prepare for that. Even if you think you have everything perfect, I promise you, there's things you're forgetting. And so you got to learn to like roll with the punches. And then another thing with opening a salon, you have to remember that you're not just in charge of yourself and your clients, you are now in charge of other lash artists, what they're doing on their clients, and then the outcome from that as well. So it's really hard sometimes to deal with situations like, well, you had a lash artist come in, she was having a horrible day, she was being awful to all of her clients, her work sucked that day. She doesn't really have to deal with it. I mean, yes, they'll say something to her, but you're the owner. You're the one that really has to step in, make it right. Have those game plans in play to be able to handle those situations. It's just really being aware. And the best thing I can tell you advice-wise, so I've been into a lot of different salons to train employees and to train salons in general that want to, learn lashes and be better. I've seen it all. Like I've seen every type of studio you can imagine. And the one thing I always think is very a common ground for everyone is, as a business owner, you really do have to leave your ego at the door. It doesn't matter how good of a lash artist you are, whether you're the best in the world or whatever, that's fine. But if you have that attitude and you have that I'm better than everybody else, everybody under you will crumble because your employees will never feel that they're good enough, that they're appreciated. So as a business owner, always remember that. Always remember you're there as their mentor. You're there as their friend. You really do want the best for them. And so just to always have a positive attitude and to always remember, like, you were there once too, and take the time they need to really feel appreciative and appreciated and let them know how much you appreciate them, because everyone has had a job where they don't feel appreciated. And do you want to stay there? No. And all it takes is a thank you. All it takes is, you know what? Thank you so much. You did amazing today. I appreciate you, and it's just building that foundation. If you can build that strong foundation of secure employees, you will just flourish.
For sure. And, it's so hard for many people, especially with bandwidth, if you start that, well, there's different things that can happen when you start hiring. So this is also something, if you're going to start a studio, are you going to start a studio and just be alone? Or are you going to start a studio and actually want to have people, work under you? You have to really think about that too, because that is a whole beast in itself. And with that comes a lot of work, a lot of headache, a lot of downs, ups and downs. There's more ups than there are downs, but when the downs hit, it hits hard.
Yes.
And we have to do another podcast, my mom and I, about that, because we have 3 studios and we've hit up and down on almost anything you could tell us. So,
and I'm sure they're all different too, because they're all different. And yeah, for sure.
Different employees, different situations, even issues with guests. Actually, I'm going to have a podcast here soon coming up with the Brown Nanny. And she is so funny. And this podcast is going to be one you're going to want to listen to, because we're going to be talking about all just drama, customer drama. So it's going to be a good one. Yeah. But anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, so definitely do your research when it comes. I'd recommend Axel Lashes. If you need more information, if you want really a mentor, I don't know how, I don't know how you're doing right now with your clientele and how you're doing, but if you need a mentor, please reach out to me, reach out to, Nikki. I'm more than happy to talk with you and really help you, guide you. I know my mom and we've really helped a lot of people, lash artists. Just give them advice, talk to, if you need to just ask a question on, who do I reach out to this? Or what do I have to do with this? It's a quick, you want some guidance. So yeah. So always have someone you can reach out to give you more knowledge so that you can grow and so that you can learn from their mistakes.
Yes.
So yes, thank you for that question. That was awesome.
Yes.
So I really want to, let me ask you then here next, Nikki, I have all my questions written down. What has gotten you to this stage in lashing? Or I should say in your business?
Honestly, it has been, I'm not going to cry. It has been the lives that I feel like I have helped change for the better. Now that sounds very cocky. Let me explain that.
Not at all.
Most of my one-on-one trainings are single moms who have recently been divorced, who have honestly no idea what they're doing with their lives anymore. And they are put in these situations where they're like, I have to provide for my family. What do? I have to provide for my family. So it's them and it's their stories. That's like, I can help people better their lives. I can help people provide for their families. And as a mother, I totally get it. I think what's truly been the drive behind why I've continued to keep going. Because honestly, there's been times where I'm like, I'm done. Like, I just want to be a mom. But at the same time, it's all those people that, hey, if I can help one person be a little bit better, I want to do it. If I can help one mom who's now a single mom that doesn't know what she's going to do with herself, be able to provide and have a good income for her family and her kids, that's able to work around her schedule. Yes, I'm going to keep going. Yes, I'm going to do this. So it's honestly the students that I've had, the people that I've touched, the messages that I get that are just like, thank you. I've been lashing for this long and I never knew that. Thank you. I've been, it's that drive that keeps me going and keeps me wanting to help other people. I guess I just want to help other people is what it comes down to.
That's amazing. And it really is. Everyone I've talked to who's in your position, or, even my mom, or just everyone you meet at these conferences, right? Who has made something of themselves and really have struggled and worked. And you know what I mean? You really find out that you have common ground. And that is one of the things that you hear all the time. It's, you get such satisfaction seeing people grow and helping people succeed. Not just you succeed, but them succeed as well. And I love how our industry has completely changed over the last 3 years. because
Oh,
before
yes.
3 years ago, it was like, it was
It was Mean
super
Girls.
Mean Girls. Yeah. It was so bad. Like
Yes.
they just, so if you're just new to the industry, so how it was in the past was everyone kept to themselves. Everyone had their own training. Everyone had their own product. Some people, trash talk this company. People trash talk that
There are
company. No one would,
secrets. They're not
their
going to share with
secrets.
anybody.
Like, you didn't want to, you had no videos showing like someone applying lashes to an eye because they're like, oh no, they're going to steal my technique. And it's
Oh,
like,
no. Yeah.
come on. So
I
it
know.
was super crazy.
It really was. And I honestly, like, I think of an example for Kimber that owns Borboleta, right?
Yes,
People
she
probably
just
thought
joined
I
us.
was so crazy because I would literally, like, so like your Instagram friends and like you comment and stuff, but like whenever they would be somewhere, and it's just anyone, like Lindy, Kimber, like I remember at the conference in Miami last year, Kimber was there. She came in. I'm like all the way across the room, and I watch her walk in, and I was like, I'm gonna walk up to her and I'm gonna say hello, and I want to meet her in person. And so I just march right over there, and I'm like, hi, and she's probably like,
Like,
oh.
hello.
Because that's just like, but it really, this industry is meant to build people up and work together, and I'm so happy that it's changed because it really was so bad at first. It was like that. You
It's
never see a
very,
video of anything, any
yeah, you're very
techniques,
exclusive.
nothing. And so, no, it's just, yeah. Anytime I have a chance to meet somebody or see somebody, it's like, yeah, you better believe I'm marching over there and I'm like, hi.
Yes, exactly.
People
And
probably thought I was crazy if you really think about it. Like, who is this
no,
lady?
but it's exactly what you should do. I know people, like, you have people who are like scared and they're really shy, and they're like, oh no, I can't go up and talk to them. And they stay in their own little table and they don't want to get up and talk to anybody. They're thinking, oh, someone might introduce themselves to you. It's not how it works. If you're going to go to a conference, if you're going to go to a convention, baby, you got to like get out of that comfort zone and start making connections, because really it's about the friendships that will help you succeed and help you grow. It's about the collaborations. It's about, like I would have never really have gotten to know you, Nikki, unless like, this whole conference and I met you, you know what I mean? It was like, like what the crap, like,
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, definitely. Those are awesome. So thank you for sharing that. I love that you had mentioned that that was your kind of like how you got to that stage. So what has driven you to start a lash line? Because I know we're going to hit on that a little bit. You want to start a lash line. Have you started it yet? Because we're going to dig into a little sneak peek here on Nikki.
So, to be honest, I've been researching product and testing product for years. Whether it's been for other companies, whether it's been for myself, just wanting to know what's out there, what's the next best thing. I do have a lineup of new products that I will be launching in the near future.
Yay!
It is it is gonna just honestly be small, and I'll kind of just take one step at a time, and really I'll launch my first product, and then I'll see how that goes. I'll learn from my mistakes when I do those things, and then I'll build for the next one, and then I'll launch. And yeah, I'm gonna have my own little, it's not gonna be like a full boom right out of the start.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be very slow because, again, just with everything that's happened, like I wish I could just put all this money into opening everything right now, but that's just not realistic. Again, I'm a mom and I work, and I try to provide for my family, so I have to do what I can do at the time I have, like, you know what I mean? So I am starting off a little slower, but I am creating my own things. So
that's awesome. I love it. And like you said, you love educating, and you go online periodically on Instagram on your if you guys follow Nikki, if you don't follow her now. It's NIKKI_ the Lash Platform. And I'll put up a post here on her thing about it, so you guys can actually go and do that. But again, follow her. And you go online periodically. Like you went online last night. You're talking about how to apply tweezers, or how to hold your tweezers.
Yes.
Right? Was it hold your tweezers? Yeah, how to hold your tweezers, because it can be kind of tricky. I know people Anyway, you can probably go into that. So yes, she's so knowledgeable and she's learned so much. And obviously she's been in this industry since 2008, you said, right?
Yeah,
Right?
2009. Yeah. Yeah.
2009. Okay, so that's a long time, guys. So you're
With the
definitely going to
nightmare.
want to, yes, I
The
know there's so
nightmare
many
of the first
crazies.
lash set.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to her. And I'm so excited for you to start that lash line. And I'm so excited
Thank
for
you.
anyone who's interested in it. It really is, it's really is an endeavor. Um, so, and I like the way you're going to do it.
Yeah. And I'm thankful, like, and I'm lucky to know the ins and outs of how ordering product works, how testing works. I think the biggest mistake I see when people do want to start their own lash line is they just get online, reach out to companies, and whoever's the cheapest, they just buy it. And it really makes a huge difference. Like, there are manufacturers that are good and there are manufacturers that are bad. So, like, for example, with one of my products, I mean, it's been 6+ months in the making of testing and making sure that they are the perfect things that I want, and trying a million different types and comparing and lashing in the real world with them and things like that. So it takes time. It really does. And I mean, it's a pain. I wish I could click a few buttons and everything would be perfect and arrive to my door, but it does take time, and it does take a lot of testing and things like that to really make, I think, a successful lash brand work.
Exactly. I totally agree. And it's also, you're going to hit some bumps in the road when it comes to your own lash line. Like like you, I have a small one as well. Nothing crazy, but we have certain things, and really it comes down to one of the struggles that you do deal with you start a lash brand is, like you said, the manufacturers themselves. There are good ones and there are bad ones. And you have to really test. I probably tested, I don't know, so many companies on different lashes. Like, it's been crazy because you get the lash and you test them and you're using them, and whatever, you're going through trials, and it's like, these lashes suck. Like, I hate these lashes. And you can feel and you can see the subtle difference, and then when you're using a tweezer, you can feel and see the subtle difference. The glue, you're like, okay, this glue is not for Arizona. Maybe it's great for Texas, but not for Arizona.
No.
So it's I totally get it. So definitely, and then be aware that some manufacturers in some different countries don't always respond well, or they send you a certain product, but then they send you like the third or the second batch, and it's not the same.
Yes.
And you're like, what the heck? So definitely keep that in mind. It is. For sure. But I'm so excited for you. That is so awesome. Definitely struggles are real. So if you could go back, so we've been talking like for almost an hour here. So we're going to wrap this up. We're going to ask you one big bang question. Okay. If you could go back and give yourself and others advice for success, what would it be?
Make sure that you're passionate about what you're doing. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the Instagram followers or the likes or the materialistic things. Do it because you love it. Because at the end of the day, if you're miserable every day, I don't care what amount of money you have, it will not make it better. You have to love it, and you have to.
I freaking love your answer.
You have to. Am I getting too churchy? Am I getting too like weird and spiritual?
No, are you kidding me? I was like, praise Nikki, hallelujah.
It's just so. It really is. I mean, just think about it. You're making $1 million a year, but if you're miserable doing it, like, at what point is it going to break you? You just find what you love, no matter what it is. If you love cutting hair, if you love coloring hair, if you love eyelash extensions, just, what you love, because it's easy. It comes easy to you, and you never really complain about it. Just find that passion and then go with it, and you'll find your own way. Like, even, in the lash world, there's a lot of us, right? There's a lot of people in the lash world, but if you stay passionate to what you love, like, you will kind of weave yourself out of, you'll stand out in your own way, and you'll create your own way. And then it's just it's limitless with what you want to do. So
yeah. I agree. Oh my gosh, that is some great advice. It really is. I was going to mention something else, and then I just got caught up in what you were saying. I'm like, okay, I whatever. But yes, thank you so much for saying that. If you guys have, if you guys have struggles, if you guys have anything that you're having to deal with, like I said earlier, reach out to somebody who you think is, successful. And success is measured in different ways. So don't think that for 1 minute that, you have to be like success is the big brand company who is known around the world and who, gets asked to go to conferences and speak all the time. Like if that's your form of success, okay, great. That's for you. But if your form of success is, hey, guess what? I have my own little one-person studio and I have my little storefront, and that is your success, then that is perfect. That is just for you, right? So really, it's up to everyone's success level is different, and don't compare. This is what I was thinking when you were saying that is, there are so many people out there, so many lash artists, brow artists, hairstylists out there that we can get up in this rat race of social media and start comparing ourselves to the girl who has 23,000 followers, right? Or the girl who has 13,000 followers. And it's like, oh my gosh, since I don't have so many followers, I guess I'm not that good. I'm not that great. It's like, don't compare yourself to them, because believe me, if you post pictures and just do what you're doing and, your work is good and your clients love you and you're having good and you're doing good, then what more do you want? Now, if you want your social media to be more successful, then maybe take some social media classes, take some advertising classes, take some maybe how to Photoshop, maybe how to create Canva, right? Different things like that, like the canva.com. Wait, I think I lost you on Facebook.
I think my computer got too hot, and so it like shut off for a second, but I just lifted it up and it's.
I'm sorry, say that again.
If I can get back on real quick.
It's okay. So it looks like we lost her on Facebook, but it's okay. We're here on Instagram. So,
no, that's so true. We live in a materialistic world. I kind of feel like COVID has kind of grounded everybody and kind of reminded everybody about what's important. But it's so true. Like you can't compare, because no one is you. Like you're your own person and you're your own self, and no one can imitate you and you can't imitate them. So you just have to stay true to yourself when it comes to anything, really. And just be happy and be yourself, because everybody's worth it.
Yes, I completely agree. You guys, this was an amazing, awesome podcast and talk and going live and everything with you. Thank you guys for joining us and watching with us here, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Again, Lash Platform, follow her at Nikki_the Lash Platform on Instagram, as well as, do you have Facebook as well, Lash Platform?
No.
Okay, that's okay. So follow her on Instagram. Like I said before, if you can follow us and follow her, all you gotta know is that she is one of our sponsors at the Scottsdale Lash and Brow Conference, and we are so excited to have her. Oh my gosh! And let's see, I'm not sure. I forgot what you were going to be giving away in your goodie bag.
So lash tiles.
Yes, lash tiles.
Yes, lash tiles, and then hopefully by this, next year, I'll have some more stuff to throw in there. So
that's awesome. Oh my gosh. So yes, you guys are going to be great. Again, thank you for joining us on Huga Beauty Podcast, as well as the Scottsdale Lash and Brow Conference. We're so excited for everyone. And if you need anything, please reach out to us, DM me, DM her, and that's it.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, babe. You have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye.